Hey guys, it's Dave here with a very random video. We're just looking at the Steam replay and then kind of talking about the plans going forward, I think, for sort of my year of 25. So, this year on Steam, I've played 15 games, which is one less than last year, and a decent 41 achievements. Mostly mouse and keyboard, but that's, you'll see from the games. Football Manager 24, Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader, and Balatro are all very mouse and keyboardy games. Above the median on everything, which is pretty cool. Pretty much newish games, not new games, but newish games. And my favourite thing about this is I keep seeing this pop up. It's the Warhammer 40k as its own own section. I did play 2 Warhammer games this year, so that's probably why. So yeah, played lots of Football Manager. So yeah, I played a little bit of Football Manager this year, not actually that much, which is funny because I've played a lot more in December. So after this is kind of done, so I think this goes up to the 14th of December. Like since then, I've played a lot more Football Manager, so it would be a lot more time. Rogue Trader is a funny one. I really enjoyed it, and then I just haven't gone back to it. But it's nothing to do with the quality of the game. It's just I've been really busy, and it's a game that you kind of want to like. It's like a novel, basically. You kind of want to like pay attention. It's quite a big game as well. I've been trying to get more into CRPGs because I did enjoy some Baldur's Gate that I played last year. I do own Divinity Original Sin 2 as well that a friend bought me a couple of years ago. So with that and this, I kind of want to play. And I was really impressed with this, what I played of it. So I am going to get back to it for sure. And then on another one is Balatro. So I only played this like for about a week, and it was addictingly fun. But I had to literally, I refunded it to literally stop myself from getting too deep because it is a really fun game, and I do really recommend it. And Two Point Campus, again, I've played it a couple of times. I love the 2 Point games. We're actually quite excited for 2 Point Museum. And I will probably buy that on Steam because I think mouse and keyboard is just the way to go. And a little bit of Witcher 2. Again, I was just trying it out on my Mac because I have a Mac. There's not a lot of games that work on it, so I was just trying it out to see how it is, and it does run really well on Mac. Annoyingly, Witcher 3 doesn't, so I'm kind of like, but this is also not Steam verified for Steam Deck. So I'm like, do I want to play 2 and then on one platform and then have to go to 3 on another? So I think I'll probably just play Witcher 3 on another platform. That's the month. I did play on more than one device. I've got a Windows PC as well, so I played a couple of things on that. And that would have been Half-Life and I think Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine. Games with the controller. Really enjoyed Art of Rally, by the way. Really recommend it on every platform. I think it'll be an amazing Steam Deck game. Rise of the Tomb Raider and Shadow of Mordor. Really funny because I've played these games before, but just trying them out on Mac really. So that was when I was playing on my little Windows laptop. So there's all that stuff. Not that exciting. So yeah, let's just scroll back to the top. I'll just do this here. So my plans for 2025. So me and Chris on the Safe.3 channel have quite a big chat about this and kind of what we want to do going forward. I think it's kind of got to the point now where I can't have 4 platforms. I think I've got a lot of stuff I want to do in 2025. There's some holidays I want to go on. There's some things I want to achieve. Like I just can't spend all of my money jumping between different platforms. And I was saying this to my partner as well, and she's not a gamer really, but she kind of gets my point. She knows what I'm like as well, and that's the thing. It's like I can say all this, and I know that Craig will watch this and be like, oh, he's just gonna buy everything, and I think financially I really can't this year, so stuff will have to give. I think personally, and I think Chris is kind of the same. I think the thing that will go is probably Xbox. It's been a very strange year for Xbox for me personally because I've enjoyed some of the stuff I've played, but I equally really struggle. And this is a really weird thing to say, but I kind of don't trust Microsoft at the moment because for a variety of reasons. We've just had the Google Stadia stuff, right, where Google's a massive company and they killed that pretty quick. I know Xbox is older, but it's every couple of months they just shoot themselves in the foot with the PR and they change their mind or they say something they don't need to say. And as a gamer, like I just want to play on a platform that I know is going to be there, like it's consistent with this messaging, and like it's just it's just for games, right? And it's the difficulty I have with something like Game Pass, because Game Pass is a great service, but when you have more than one platform, you just don't use it. Like We're going to talk about this on the sort of Game of the Year podcasts. But for how much I've spent on Game Pass, I probably haven't earned it this year. I've played like some DLC and I've played the odd game, but I haven't played the big games. Again, that's more for me, but it's been a really good year. There's a lot of games. Like, do I want to play Indiana Jones when I've still got Metaphor ReFantasia to play? You know what I mean? Do I want to play, or do I want to try like Age of Mythology when I have got Rogue Trader and Football Manager that I own, or that has been gifted to me and stuff, right? So I'm kind of like, the Xbox is probably the one that will go first. I'm always going to keep Nintendo. I know Chris is sort of in his anti-Nintendo stage at the minute, but the thing with Nintendo is they have the only company that is wholly unique. You're not going to play a Nintendo game on anything else. Like, you're going to play Pokemon, Mario Kart, you're going to play Mario Party, you're going to play the Mario games, Zelda. All this stuff is Nintendo. They don't, for better or for worse, they don't have like a big internet push. They don't have a big microtransaction push. The games always tend to come out pretty polished. You know, you're not hearing about massive day one patches for Mario Odyssey or Mario Wonder. Like, those games are ready to go, and I really like it as a platform. I think this is probably the year I've enjoyed the Switch the most, which is really funny. I think the first half of the Switch's life for me, as someone who loved the Wii U, was just Wii U ports, and I preferred the Wii U. Whereas it's kind of got to that point now where I think the Switch is just it's a fantastic platform. It kind of feels like the 3DS now. Like, it feels like, for me, it's my handheld platform. I only really play on the TV when me and my girlfriend are playing Mario Kart or Mario Party. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't tend to play the big single player games on docked mode. I tend to play it in bed. Like, I'm enjoying Yakuza Kiwami at the moment, which is like a console game, but it works perfectly in handheld, and that's what I kind of like. And it's just how I've been gaming. On PlayStation, I tried the Portal this year and it just didn't hit. I think the need for a constant and consistent internet connections really killed it for me here, because I live in a small town, and although I have a relatively okay internet and I did buy a booster, it's not quick enough, because you have to have the console on and you have to have the console with a good connection, and it's difficult for me in the setup I live in at the moment to have both. And if me and my partner went and bought our own flat in the summer, I think it would be different, but our plans are to work for the year and then move abroad, which makes it difficult to, as a gamer, to plan your gaming around, right? Like, you can't commit all this money to PlayStation and then turn around and you have to sell it all because we're literally moving to a different continent. Like, you know what I mean? So it's a really difficult conundrum. But I think for me this year, PlayStation, or 2025 PlayStation, will stick around for quite a bit of it. I think I've got quite a big backlog of games I want to play on PlayStation 5. So unless the finances get to the point where I need to sell it, I probably won't. Certainly not the first half of the year. I will sell it next year because we want to move abroad. I can't. It's a UK PS5 that weighs a ton. I can't take that with me to where we want to move to, right? So, and that's a big factor, I think, for my year this year. And it's why I think I get so confused and awkward on the podcast with it, because like, I really want to set up the whole year to be somewhere that I don't have to think about, oh my god, I need to finish this because I'm going to sell this platform, because I have to sell the platform. You see what I'm saying? So it's a really difficult one. And I know you can say, well, when you move to wherever, you can buy a PlayStation 5, and yeah, but it's also, that's £500 that I might not want to spend when you don't know. Like, and I think if you end up moving to another country, especially their first year, you don't move with the intention that you're gonna just move your exact life here to another country. So I'm not gonna be sat at home playing video games a whole lot on a big entertainment center. Like, that's not buying a £400 TV and a £400 games console and everything that goes with it is not a priority when you're moving to a new country. For me, it isn't anyway. Again, if you're moving on your own, I think it's different. But moving with a partner, we'd rather go. We need to rent an apartment. We need to finance some cars. Like, it's one of those things, right? So there's that, and then the final platform. And the reason I'm doing this video, and the sort of the title of this video, I suspect, is Steam, because Steam is a funny one, because the complete contrast to the PlayStation is my Mac will come with me. It's a laptop. You live on a laptop, right? Like, it's a really good. Like, I've got an M1 Pro. Like, it's a really good MacBook, and it will be good enough in 3 years' time, wherever I maybe live. So that's a big factor. And again, I play Football Manager. I play these like RTSs and CRPGs. Sure, Mac doesn't have the support it really should for your AAA console games, but the kind of games I play on a Mac or on a laptop, it's really good for. Like a Football Manager is my main game. I play it hundreds of hours every year. Looks and runs great on my Mac, and I'm sure Football Manager 25, whenever it comes out, will look and run fantastic on my Mac. So there's that, and then I suppose there's the other one. And again, I think if you know me, I did have a Steam Deck, about a year ago, and then for financial reasons I had to sell it. So I'm considering maybe going back to the Steam Deck as sort of the console, maybe the latter half of 2025. So the transition from PlayStation, because then it's something that you can take with you. It still has the handheldness of the Switch, which I really like, and it can be docked into a monitor or a TV in the country we're moving to without having to sell it and buy another one, because it's the same thing. It just need a USB-C cable to charge it. It's the same as a phone at that point. So I think for that logic wise, I think that's what the plan will be. I'm obviously not going to do all this today, because I know I can already hear Craig rolling his eyes and tutting. But it's one of those where I think the reasoning seems pretty sound and logical to me. And I think it's something I probably will do. But yeah, certainly for the first few months of 2025, I've got 3 or 4 physical games I want to get through on my PS5. I want to be done with subscriptions as well. I've had this conversation with Chris a few times, and they all sound really great in theory, but unless you're wholly dedicated to one platform, it doesn't work for me. Like if we use the example of Craig, who is obviously the best of us, when he was wholly Xbox, Game Pass was at its maximum value because he played everything. Like he plays the indie games, he's trying out JRPGs, like he's playing racing games, he's playing horror games. Like he's that kind of gamer, right? And obviously even for him, like it gets a little bit watered down now. He's playing more on PlayStation because he's buying and playing PlayStation games or playing PlayStation Plus games. He's still playing quite a lot of Xbox, but his most played game is a game he's bought that he could have bought on PlayStation, he could have bought on PC, right? But so I think for me, like, there's pointless me having Game Pass and PlayStation Plus, right? I don't play online that much anymore. Like I played like a month of COD and it was great, but you can get £15 worth of either of these services, right, and be done with it. So that's something I really want to go away from. I want to move away from the subscriptions. Like I have a massive backlog on every platform. Like I'd rather play that. I'd rather buy a game physically on PlayStation than sell it. Or if I do end up moving to Steam, what's Steam best known for? It's Steam sales. So I'd rather just wait and go, hey, well, let's throw some examples out here. So next year, let's say new AAA game comes out day one on Steam. For the sake of the conversation, we'll say Elden Ring Night Rain. It's not a game I'm interested in, but we'll say Elden Ring Night Rain or Monster Hunter Wilds, right? Runs fine, runs at 30, looks okay, looks like a Switch game. But I don't want to spend £70 on it. It will go on sale. Within 6 months, that game will drop 10, 15, 20, 25, 30%. I can just wait. I can wait for the patches to come in. You know, the FOMO is a thing that I think the older I get, I kind of just like, it's just a lot of effort to be in the FOMO. And again, I have a gaming podcast, so you want to have something to talk about. There's plenty of games to talk about, you know, and then like you can still have an interest in the news without buying every game. And that's definitely a factor as well. And yeah, I think it's one of those, like, again, the Steam Deck last time, because I know you've pointed this, well, we had a Steam Deck before, it hit probably a year too early for me because my life situation has changed over the last 3 years. Like, I mean, my life situation has gone from one very extreme to a very different extreme, and the first extreme meant that all I did was play video games. All I didn't enjoy anything else in my life. 3 years ago, it was just playing video games. Whereas now, you know, I'm back playing football again. Like I like going out with my partner. It's fun. Like we're going away tomorrow for a week. Like it's just nice to do. I'm not sitting there thinking, oh, when can I fit in 20 minutes of video games, right? Like that's just not the way it is. So I think last year life was different. Needed the money as well. There was some big expenses last year, some courses. I was learning to drive, so it was a case of, do I book 5 driving lessons that I need because we want to move abroad, or do I keep this Steam Deck that I like but I haven't fully given myself to yet? And that's the thing, I think. And again, I'd be really interested to hear a Chris Pengelly version of this. I don't know if we'll talk about it on the podcast maybe, but when you give yourself to one or two ecosystems that are very different, you tend to spend more and enjoy more in that place, and you become part of it. So if we look to when we started Save Slot 3 when it was Pod of War, me and Chris were primarily PlayStation gamers. And all we did, we had our PS4s, we had our Vitas, we bought Vita games, PS4 games, and we used cross-buy and cross-play. We had all this connection, and we played more interesting games because once you're on PlayStation for God of War, you're more likely to try Gravity Rush. And like once you bought a Vita for Persona, you're going to try the Trails of series, right? So like without the dilution of just the AAA games, I think when you've got all of the platforms, what you tend to do is play. I'm going to play Indiana Jones because that's an exclusive, or that's first party. Then I'm going to play Ghost of Tsushima because that's first party. And then I'm going to play Mario Wonder because that's first party. And then all of a sudden, all you've done is play the big games. You don't try other games. Like you don't find yourself sat there going, well, I want to try the Yakuza series. You're like, well, no, I haven't got time to play the Yakuza series because I've got to wait for Ghost of Yotai, and then I've got to play God of War Ragnarok. And those games are great, but you can't just play each platform's sort of main meal and not try the little side menu stuff that you can get. Whereas I think if you say you're just on Switch and you're playing all the Nintendo first party, you also then try Doom 2016, or you try Onimusha, or you try Anton Blast, or you try Pizza Tower. These games that are less in price and not the reason to own a console, but like a good bonus that you feel part of an ecosystem. I think I missed that. I really enjoyed that when we did that with PlayStation when we first started the show. And as an artist, again, I'm in my mid 30s, trying to move abroad. Like I need to pick a lane and get into it. So this is a rant. It's about a 20-minute rant, which I know you'll all enjoy, of my reasoning of why I think that I'm going to be a primarily Steam / Nintendo gamer next year. I'd love to know what people think and what they feel like for themselves, or if they've felt similar to this, or if they think I'm absolutely crazy. Like I'd be really interested to know and have a conversation with it in the comments. And I will reply to every comment if you do comment. But yeah, so I'm interested to see what we'll do in 2025. Like I said, I'm on holiday now for a little bit. So I will definitely do a follow-up of this video, probably at some point at the end of January, and see if I still feel the same and see if these plans have progressed. But yeah, thank you for watching this. If you have enjoyed it, hit the like button, hit a comment, hit the subscribe button for more of this rambling goodness, and I'll see you next time.